Hello again, rail fans, and welcome back to another video. Today's date is March 30th, 2022, and we are located at the Iron Triangle Rail Park in Fostoria, Ohio. On this day, I was here with the intention of spending an entire day here of my spring break watching the trains go by. Unfortunately, that plan fell through shortly after we arrived. Reasoning for this was because Norfolk Southern and CSX was doing track maintenance around 2 of the 3 diamonds that are located here, which definitely had an impact on the train traffic through the area. Eventually, the decision was made to go somewhere else and spend the day there. During the short time that we spent here, one train eventually did come through, which was Norfolk Southern local freight train L70 on the Fostoria district. L70 operates between here in Fostoria, Ohio, all the way to Edgerton, Indiana, and on this day, he had 2 SD40-2s with 2 grain hoppers in tow. Shortly after L70 passed, the decision was made to go somewhere else to spend the day. On our way out, I noticed 2 trains on the Columbus subdivision were waiting for the track maintenance to finish up. One of them was a local freight, and the other was an Autorack train, although my attention was quickly drawn to the Autorack train because I noticed the flag of a Union Pacific locomotive in the lead. As we continued our drive down 23, I saw that the Autorack train was equipped with a mid-train DPU, which was also Union Pacific and what appeared to be an NS44AH, but I quickly noticed a difference with the graphics on the side. Most of Union Pacific's ES44s have the graphics of an American flag on the side, however this one did not. It just had the words Union Pacific spelled out on the side. Only about 5 or 6 of Union Pacific's ES44s are painted this way, so I thought it was a pretty cool catch, even though considering that this was the only part of the train we saw, and the picture that I took wasn't very good, but it's good enough to tell what it is. We headed back south for about 30 miles until we eventually reached Marion Union Station. As we were pulling up to the railroad crossing, a CSX local freight was making its way northbound up the Columbus subdivision. I figured that we would be better off rail fanning here for the day considering Fostoria was still doing its track maintenance by the time we got here. As I was meeting up with some friends of mine from the Central Ohio Railfanning Group here, we then saw our next train, which was CSX Q217, a daily Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Louisville, Kentucky empty Autorack train. After Q217 cleared, Norfolk Southern came into the picture when northbound intermodal train 20N came up the Sandusky District. 20N operates on a daily basis between Rickenbacker Yard in Columbus, Ohio to Detroit, Michigan, and usually carries both intermodals and autoracks. As it would turn out, 20N was a big train today because coming up here was a pair of mid-train DPUs, a C44-9W and an AC44C6M. At this point, it was becoming clear to me that CSX's Mount Victory subdivision was the busier line this time around by the time CSX Autorack train Q216 showed up. Q216 is the counterpart to the Q217 seen earlier coming out of Louisville, Kentucky and heading for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Here, he was awaiting permission to use the connector track from the Columbus subdivision to the Mount Victory subdivision so he can back into the yard and drop off some of the autoracks that he has with him. As Q216 awaits permission to get into the yard, another eastbound shows up on the Mount Victory subdivision and uses the crossover tracks, which was CSX I008. I008 is a daily intermodal train that operates between Rose Lake, Illinois and North Bergen, New Jersey, and usually carries high-priority UPS trailers and packages. As Q216 was switching in the background, a southbound train appeared on CSX's Columbus subdivision, which was CSX local freight train H792 after finishing up work at local industries here up in Marion and heading back to Parsons Yard in Columbus, Ohio. Mount Victory subdivision continues its domination when another westbound showed up, which to our surprise was a loaded coal train, which I have reason to believe is a T700 bound for Georgia Electric. Of note on this train was the relatively new CM44AH in the lead, number 7248. Considering Georgia Electric gets high quantities of coal, it's mandatory that T700 at origination in Newell, Pennsylvania is equipped with a mid-train DPU, and today was no exception. Now would actually be a good time to point this out because many CSX rail fans, including myself, have started to notice that CSX is starting to put DPU stickers on a lot of their locomotives. From what I understand, these stickers are used to help crews differentiate locomotives that are DPU compatible or not. Considering I've seen the use of DPU for several years now, it's very easy for me to tell apart which locomotives are DPU capable or not, just by the type of locomotives that they are. But I'm pretty sure CSX employees are not that passionate about their jobs, so this is used instead. So whenever you're out rail fanning CSX, keep an eye out for a locomotive in a consist to have a DPU sticker, as it's making it easier for us and CSX employees to tell which locomotives are DPU compatible or not. After CSX T700 cleared the diamonds, our final train soon came into view. For me anyways. This is Norfolk Southern Mixed Freight Train 171 traveling down the Sandusky District on his way from Conway, Pennsylvania to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Assigned to take 171 was a Norfolk Southern AC44C6M and a CSX ET44AH, showing the rare case of CSX and Norfolk Southern actually working together. Even though our trip to Marion was over, I was able to catch a Norfolk Southern northbound combined coal and coke train coming up the Sandusky District just north of Delaware, Ohio, or somewhere between CP Troyton and South Marion on the railroad. It was quickly revealed that this train was a combined loaded coal and coke train by the time we saw its mid-train DPU right here. After seeing the combined train along State Route 23, this will now conclude yet another video. Even though this trip had a rocky start and we had to move around a lot, in the end it turned out to be not so bad. Leave a like and/or a comment down below to share your thoughts on the video. If you enjoy my content, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and tapping the bell button to be notified when a new video gets posted. Anyways, that's all for now. This is All Ohio Railfan, signing off.